Hey, what's going on? You're in the secret level here with Gurns, and today we got a video on how to build your own AFK Antlion Mandible farm, plus get a whole bunch of awesome desert loot as well. So just in case you guys didn't know, Antlion Mandibles, they're used to make mining potions, and mining potions, they increase the speed that you dig by a lot. It makes the game, in my opinion, just makes the game a lot more convenient, and it's just a lot more enjoyable, because obviously you do a ton of digging. Alright, so here we go. So there's only really one benefit to having this farm, but it's a major benefit, pretty key benefit in my opinion, and that's the mining potions. So you're definitely going to want to have an unlimited supply of those things. Now just a quick note though guys, you're ideally going to want to set up this farm ASAP. As it can be set up pre-hard mode, and it's actually a little bit more efficient pre-hard mode because you'll get more monsters that spawn or that drop Antlion Mandibles, because once hard mode is unlocked, new monsters will start spawning there that don't drop them. It's still a great farm though, don't get me wrong, after hard mode, so don't worry if you've already unlocked hard mode. Alright, so let's take a look at how this farm is set up. Okay, so here we are in the desert biome. It's still technically surface, but it's low enough so that you have this desert wall here behind you. And the first thing you're going to want to do is hollow out, a fairly large area here. So I'll give you somewhat of an idea how large mine is. So the ground is basically just down here, just below where my screen stopped when I'm standing in the pyramid. Just goes out to here. That was originally already hollow, and I just kind of straightened out the paths to make it convenient for mobs to get through. And we go through here, and it's just down here, and it ends right there, basically. So you're going to want to hollow out, a fairly large, decent-sized area in the desert biome here. And just have it so that the ground is, just a little bit below the bottom of your screen. So once you have that hollowed out, you build, your classic, very large pyramid, basically. And I'll explain it. I'll explain that now. Actually, the reason why it's so large is because I want the ground to be below the screen so that monsters can spawn there. Because as you can see in the desert biome, there's a lot of different little caves and caverns and stuff in the ground. And you don't want monsters spawning in there and getting stuck and taking up max spawn limits, basically. So I've also filled in most of those. You can fill in as much as you want, basically. Try to fill in as much as you can, just, a little bit below the bottom, more or less. But that's mainly why I have it so high up, just to make sure the monsters spawn there. So once you have your pyramid and all built out and your area hollowed out and such, you want to have a little hole in the top of the pyramid here. The very top of the hole is 5 blocks apart, and on the bottom is 7 blocks apart with 3 blocks of height there. That just kind of keeps the monsters trapped there and contained. So next to is if you've already unlocked hard mode, you don't have to have this, but it definitely helps. Is you're going to want to put in some traps there. So don't worry though if you're building this early and you don't have the trap set. The lava, as you can see, does enough. But if you do have the traps, it makes it a little bit more efficient. So you just throw in some spiky ball traps there. We'll take a look at the wiring real quick. Actually, it's pretty simple. Some spiky ball traps there. You have them actuated so things can go through them. Just throw in some actuators on them and then connect them to like a switch. Throw the switch on one time so that they become actuated, and then just remove the actuators. You attach those to a 1-second timer, and then if you use conveyor belts here, sorry I didn't mention that, I have conveyor belts there just to make sure that some of the loot that kind of falls off to the side, gets pushed right towards me as I'm standing right here. And that way it stays completely AFK, so all the loot will get pushed towards me. Just make sure the wire doesn't go through any of those conveyor belts though, because that would actually reverse the direction on a 1-second basis, and you don't want that. So the wire connects to the spiky ball traps there, as well as a couple spear traps up there. And you want to have I would say probably 4, 2 on each side there. And those are mainly to help kill these little scorpion things, as well as those Antlion swarmers, the dragonfly looking things. So yeah, alright, so let's turn the wiring off there, and we'll see how it works real quick. It's pretty simple. So the traps are on. It basically just, helps kill stuff. And I'll explain the reason for these walls here, as you can actually see with this thing. They're for those little antlion swarmers, those dragonfly-looking monsters. And I noticed that without these little walls here, sometimes they would, you'll see with this one, come up, go out, and then, as you saw, it would just go right back out. But if you put like a little wall there, mine's 4 blocks high, it will prevent that. So now sometimes, like the antlion swarm with the little dragonfly things, will come in like this way and hit the wall and then bounce back out. Don't worry about that, because they'll just come back and then come back along and then get stuck inside and die like they're supposed to. And this one little section here in the middle of block, I shouldn't say wall, of block, this is for these little scorpions. Sometimes they would come up here, as you can see, and this just kind of keeps them, focused down this way, basically. Yeah, so after you get that set up, you're going to want to have your 80 jungle temple bricks here. And again, if you're setting this up early and you don't have 80 jungle temple bricks yet, don't worry, you can because you can use 80 mud blocks with jungle grass on them instead. Just make sure they're like kind of underneath you here, so that no jungle mobs can actually spawn. Because just in case you didn't know, what this actually does, if you have 80 jungle bricks here, is it will turn the area into also technically a jungle biome. I'm not sure if you can hear the music, but it's jungle music. And yeah, so what that does is it increases the spawn rate dramatically. You can see like there's a lot of baddies that are spawning here. So on top of that, once you have those jungle blocks in there, whichever kind you have, you put a water candle up there somewhere, also to increase the spawn rate, and ideally have a chest here with some battle potions in there, again to help increase the spawn rate. So yeah. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the other loot that you can get from this place. So you can get sturdy fossils from, I'm pretty sure, basilisks. Once hard mode is unlocked, they'll start dropping those. You can make some cool desert gear with that, as well as obviously antlion mandibles. You get tons of those. You get some ancient cloth as well, and that helps make I think a vanity set. You make a vanity set with that. So you get a couple vanity sets with this actually. You get this Lamia vanity set here. You get this little sun mask here, cool little sun mask. This is actually a pretty cool item, especially if you set it up early on, the mandible blade. It drops from, again, I think those antlion chargers, and maybe the antlion swarmer too, I'm not sure. But anyway, you get a mandible blade, and that's actually, if you get it fairly early on, that's actually a really strong weapon. So yeah, great weapon. And you also get this ancient horn. That will summon a cool little basilisk mount. And you get a ton more yellets if you don't have enough yellets. I get yellets all over the place, so but they're good to sell actually. They're worth, I think, like 6 gold coins or something like that. Yeah, so I think that's as far as like the main loot that you'll get here. And yeah, so sorry, there's one other thing I will mention as far as the setup goes. You'll notice that there's 3 little blocks here that I have kind of on the corners. You're going to want to have those set up there, because if it was just one block on the bottom, I've noticed that sometimes some of the monsters could like fall through the block for whatever reason and come into here and start hurting me. And you obviously don't want that. So you're going to want to put like 2 or 3 blocks kind of on the edges there to prevent that from happening. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's everything as far as the setup goes there, guys. One more thing actually, guys, is that regular ant lions, those little heads that can stick out of the sand, they will sometimes spawn like towards the bottom of the screen down at the corner here and just stay there and take up a max spawn limit basically. I wouldn't worry about them though, especially if you have the water candle and the jungle blocks there, because like I get more than enough monsters coming, as you can see, and more than enough antlion mandibles to really worry about having to deal with them. And really you only get like 1, 2, or 3 of them just sticking down there, and then that's about it. So you really don't have to do anything to deal with them. Just thought I would add that in there, guys. Alright guys, so that was my video on how to build your own AFK antlion mandible farm. plus get some pretty cool desert loot there too. So it might seem a little bit daunting, like hollowing out the area or building the pyramid. I know it did to me at first, but I promise you guys, it is absolutely worth it, and it really doesn't take too long to do. So yeah, you'll have all the mining potions that you need to do super fast mining throughout all your adventures there, instead of that, slow regular mining, that lame mining like I was doing for quite a long time before I discovered that this was, basically a thing. Alright, anyway, I hope the video helped. Leave a like if it did, that way I know I'm helping some people out here. And as always, subscribe here to the secret level and join me, Gurns. Always more videos like this to come. And also leave some suggestions in the comments if there's any farms or certain projects that you want me to take on. Alright, so this is Gurns exiting the secret level. Take it easy, guys.